have a couple of questions for you, Noah. Why does GE place so much emphasis on an MBA? As you know, in your 2010 Weekend MBA program graduating class, we had 2 GE colleagues in there. Both have PhDs, but yet GE was very adamant about them getting their MBAs as well. And I've found that a number of GE employees have come through our Weekend MBA program and other MBA programs as well to get that knowledge. Why does GE place such a strong emphasis on that kind of degree?
That's a good question, and as you pointed out, there are quite a few of my colleagues that have their MBA, and quite a few of them have come through UAlbany's program specifically because it is such a good value. But you know, I think, speaking of value, I believe that's the answer to the question, is that the GE really recognizes the value of that type of education, of having that business administration, you know, that type of master's type of knowledge level. You know, as I pointed out there, for me personally, even though I don't have a real, you know, I'm not in the top management position, more of a support role. But I think even having that MBA, it does, you know, 2 things. It helps me understand the business better, so I can bring better ideas to the table. I can understand our products and our services better, and our business better in the broader sense. And you know, when it is time to climb the ladder, I think GE really, really values having that MBA toolkit at the disposal of the people climbing the ladder, so that when they do get into a position of leadership or management, that they're prepared and well suited. And there are some points that I didn't even mention on the slides that, you know, I don't apply personally, but they would come into play. You know, it doesn't take long in a business like this, in renewables, which is it's a growth industry. We continue to grow as a company. Our competitors continue to grow too, as the industry continues to grow. So there's a lot of opportunity to move up, and it's not long before you find yourself in a position where you have 2 or 3 or 4 people under you. So, you know, and then you start getting into human resource management and other aspects of the of the MBA program that you can utilize in those roles.
Yeah, the second question I have was related to the first one. You kind of answered it also in terms of what are some of the career benefits of having an MBA at GE. You mentioned about obviously rising up the corporate ladder, more earning potential, and also being able to supervise people as well, which is nice.
Yeah, that's correct. And GE being a company like it is, it is a dynamic company. It is always changing. That's one thing that I've learned about working here. I've been here for 2.5 years, and I've seen quite a bit of change, and not just in our business, but also the GE in the broader sense too. You know, they had to adjust to the financial situation across the globe, kind of make some big changes, reinvest in different areas, and you see that in renewables too. It's a landscape that really kind of constantly changes, not radically, but from a year-to-year basis, things do really change. And again, I think being able to stay on top of that and understand that, and really understand what's going on around you in the business and in the global markets, having an MBA certainly is a key piece of that. Otherwise, there's so much. It can be quite overwhelming, but with the knowledge and the tools that the MBA provide, it's much easier to digest that information and be successful in those roles.
I know GE is very supportive in terms of encouraging its employees to pursue additional education. Is their tuition reimbursement policy, fairly generous as well?
Yeah, no, it has been historically very generous, and it continues to be that way. I was able to benefit from that. It's changed a little bit over the years, but it's still a very strong reimbursement program, and I think that's an important point, Don, is that because an MBA education is valued within the company, I don't want to say it's easier to be. I don't want to compare ourselves to other companies directly, but I think getting approved for that sort of thing is certainly an easier thing here with a company like GE. And I think you probably find that would be true in the industry as a whole, in renewables as a whole, because it is a growth industry. There still are aspects of the industry that need to be optimized. There's opportunity out there in renewables still, and so having that type of education brings value to the table.
Sure. One of our prospective students I reached out to yesterday came back with a very good question, and I didn't have the answer to that, and I'm hoping that you perhaps do. She had wondered if there's an undergraduate or even a graduate line of study that somebody can pursue to better prepare themselves for entering the renewable energy field.
You know, I think having some sort of, you know, environmental science I mean, I see people coming through with an environmental science background, and that can be very broad. Even a natural science background, I think, can help sometimes. Certainly, engineering is a big thing. I mean, most of the people in my building are engineers. You know, they have like a, and it could be, you know, it could be anything. It could be an electrical engineer or some other type of engineer. But you know, some sort of engineering background is very helpful because it is rather technical. You don't need one. You can certainly survive or find a role without one. I don't have an engineering background myself, but GE is very good at training and whatnot, so you can pick that up along the way too, or get the skill sets you need to understand the basics. But I would say some sort of science. But you know, there's so many opportunities within GE and renewables in general that you know you can come in with just a straight marketing background and get into a marketing role, or you know, if you have some sales experience that you feel is relevant, you can certainly get into kind of like a junior level sales role right off the bat. You know, so I think there's opportunities across the board. I mean, I see a lot of people in communications come into the program, come into GE, I should say, and move around. But you know, for renewables specifically, just for the renewables industry, it's probably more of a focus on environmental science and engineering. But again, because it is a growing, robust industry, there are opportunities across all disciplines.
Great. That's about all the questions we have, I think, Noah. If there's still some time in case you do want to ask some questions, you can do that using the chat feature in the lower right-hand portion of the webinar software, and also through my Twitter handle at UAlbany MBA. My contact information is on the screen right now in case you have any information or want additional information or have any questions about our Weekend MBA program. You have my email address there, my phone number also, and fax, and of course my Twitter handle as well. And we do have another question pop up here, Noah, from one of our attendees.
Sure.
And the question is, will GE participate in New York's rail upgrade in regards to renewable energy?
Will they participate in New York's rail upgrade?
Yes.
I honestly don't know the answer to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sure if we follow the headlines, perhaps we'll be able to, GE will probably be able to let us know somehow.
They're very proactive when it comes to that sort of thing, so I would tend to think yes. But or if you can pass along your contact information, or just email me directly with my contact information that you saw early in the slideshow, I would be more than happy to speak with some members of our communications team and find that out for you.
Mm-hmm. That sounds great. No, I appreciate that. And of course, Noah's contact information is on the, I think, second or third slide there. My contact information is here in case you want more information on our Weekend MBA program or would like to maybe attend the class to get more information on the program, interact with students, an instructor, and kind of break bread with us as well. That'd be great. In terms of coming attractions, on our next slide, we have our next webinar for Monday, May 16th at 4:30 in the afternoon. It's MBAs and Recruiting. And this, I think, is a particularly timely topic for us because Chris Wessel, who has gone through our MBA program here on campus, to be honest, I'm not sure if it was the evening program or the full-time program, to be able to really tell us firsthand what the demand is for MBAs in the business world. He's involved in recruiting on a day-to-day basis, being a partner for clinical recruiting and HR solutions, so he'll be able to really quantify for us what the demand is for MBAs. In terms of coming attractions for the Weekend MBA program, we're holding an information session down in lovely Hyde Park at the FDR Presidential Museum and Library on Thursday, May 24th at 5:30 p.m. So in case you are from that area or traveling down there and want to stop in, please let me know. contact me at 518-442-4964 or my email address at dpurdy@uamail.albany.edu. And of course, our next local event is also an information session that's held at our Clifton Park Executive Education Center on Thursday, June 2nd at 5:30 p.m. And again, please contact me if you'd like to attend. I want to thank Noah for coming back to us and presenting on this very timely topic and sharing his insights on that. So Noah, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure to speak to you and everybody participating today.
And I also want to thank David Levesque, who again pushed just the right buttons behind the scenes. So David, thank you for your efforts. And I also want to thank our attendees. Thank you very much, folks, and we'll see you hopefully on May 16th. Take care.